Going to do that. And so, yeah, I'm excited to be doing these interviews here as we're heading into the last couple months of 2020, because this business has changed my life. And this business has changed a lot of other people's lives. And so Courtney and I happened to meet about a little over 5 years ago, because of this business. And to be honest, I'm just like so very grateful to God that I was became connected to you and your growing community, your growing business partners, and just that community that you guys have created. And so, yeah, you inspire me just with your, the way in which you grow your business, and that you guys are such good models of just educating people about options. And so anyway, I'm just really grateful for your friendship, and also to watch your business continue to grow, and for people to continue to connect with you and learn about this business that you and your business partners have been growing. And anyway, all that to say, if you're catching this live or on replay, if you know Courtney, say hello in the comments and give her a shout out. Tell her that you're watching. And if you have any specific questions for Courtney, also don't hesitate to ask those in the comments, or private message her after checking this out. But let's just start, Courtney, with you. I'm going to talk less now the rest of the way. Tell me a little bit about your kind of introduction into this oily world, this Young Living essential oils and products world. Like, how did that happen? And how has it shifted your life? Just the wellness reality. Young Living is like all the wellness products and the oils. If you don't mind sharing just a little bit about the wellness aspect and how you got connected and began your journey.
Yeah, sure. So basically, it was in 2015. My sister-in-law, she had a couple months before I actually said, yes, I'll try what you're offering me. She had invited me to a couple of classes online, and all I really saw were like pictures of these bottles of oils. And I thought they made your house smell good. I didn't really know. And anyway, she talked to me a little bit more about it. And then it was actually when you and your family came to Indiana one April, and had a class and just really went through explaining what the essential oils were, how they worked, and a little bit about Young Living. And I always had issues with the changing of the seasons. And so I thought to myself, okay, they mentioned that there are things that, could help with that. If they work, great. I'll try it, and so I did, and I was pleasantly surprised that it helped. And I got my diffuser and a starter kit, but I was really only really excited about a few oils because I didn't think I'd use the others. And then I was surprised. You sent information, Jess sent information, and I learned a little bit more about what all they could do. Mm-hmm. And a couple months had gone by, and I used them just, not every day, but I used them as, I thought about them. And then my mom was actually really sick. She had been diagnosed with cancer a year prior, and she passed away in August of 2015. And that is when I realized really how powerful the oils are, and all emotional support oils. So that was a light bulb kind of went off with me that, it was the hardest thing I had ever gone through. And I could use these oils to really help me through that grief. And that was really powerful. And so when that happened and I went through that, I just thought to myself, I've got to tell people about this, because this is amazing. People go through struggles all the time, and how great is it that we have these oils that could help impact that. So I just kind of started accidentally, exploring more of the oils, but also the products that I was using prior to Young Living. I'll be real honest, aside from just knowing I needed a natural deodorant, for the most part, I didn't really pay attention to any other products that I use, as far as, the cleaners I was using, or the makeup, or the shampoo, or any of the things. And with Young Living, it really opened my eyes to the ingredients that were in a lot of the things that, we had used all the time and not thought about it. So that was kind of just like, oh my gosh. And so I found myself going through the products that we had, in our cabinets. And as I would, use something up, whether it be my dish soap or whatever, I started to replace it with what Young Living had to offer, because it was plant-based ingredients infused with essential oils, no harsh chemicals. And it really was kind of amazing to me how much better I felt as we started to transition some of those products. So, I was really amazed. Again, it was just in the beginning, these little bottles of oils that I learned a little bit about, moving on to helping with control, like emotions. And then, oh, by the way, we have this whole big product line, different product lines, over 600 products that I really started to learn about, and really paid attention to what we were putting into our body.
So awesome. Yeah. What a powerful, just full look at what's possible with these products, right? Where it's
Right.
like, okay, body systems, how can they support us? Like you said, there's so many products that it's,
Yeah.
we just got our ER order a couple days ago, which is like a monthly wellness box, those of you who check this out. But our ER order showed up, multi-greens showed up. And then I think, Inner Defense, was that like am I making that up, or was that a promo this month?
Promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a promo.
Yeah, so that was a promo this month, and those two supplements have been game changing for me. I know this last decade plus. And then the emotional, thanks for sharing that, the story with, supporting yourself and your grief and that whole process. And you're right. I mean, we weren't really like taught how to, like, how do you cope with these things, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you found that those to be helpful, and then I know you've shared with so many people the different, those different oils that you used. Anyway, yeah, so good. That's good clarity for those of you who are watching this live or on replay or watching this YouTube video, that Young Living has a huge product line. Oftentimes everybody just thinks these, that citronella and it's just all about essential oils. And yes, the products are essential oil infused, but there are lots of other product lines that, that you can dive into. All right. So tell me then, like, when did the light bulb go on where you said, you know what, I want to grow a business? Like because it's not, at the end of the day, reality is network marketing. Not everybody chooses it, right? And some people have stories about network marketing, but then some of us are like, no, this is, I got to explore this further. I want to explore this further, and how can I show up and do this in a way that feels really good to my soul? And I feel like that's, how you've operated your business and grown your business with a lot of soul-led, heart-led, prayer-led, lifestyle, and the way you've done it. When did that light bulb go on? And what's been like a couple game shifting moments over the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. So when I got started in 2015, again, it was in April. And by the end of that year, I had ranked so there's different ranks with Young Living. And I had ranked from star, which is the first rank, to senior star. And then executive, like just a couple months after that. And to me, that was these, people were wanting the products, and they were asking questions, and I was helping people, and I was also getting a paycheck from Young Living, and it was paying for my order, which was great, for me, and then plus more. And so I didn't really pay attention, honestly, to too much of the business part until I kind of hit that executive rank, which, I kind of stopped and looked at the business model and thought, okay, I have a great career. I'm super happy with what I'm doing. I went to college, I did all the things. I don't want to sell. I like didn't even sell. I quit Girl Scouts because I didn't want to sell the cookies. Like I remember my mom telling me that, but like I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't want to do that. And so I had just never thought of myself as promoting, something, but in reality, man, I promoted and supported so many businesses and, things along the way that I shared with people anyways. So I started to realize how kind of easy it was to just tell people about that. And so I started to carve out, 15 minutes a day where I was, intentionally sharing the products with people, following up with people, introducing, people to, Young Living
Mm.
and, hosting classes and that kind of thing. And then I hit the rank of silver. And that for me, that's when you become a thousandaire, like you referenced at the beginning of the call.
Mhm.
And I kind of was like, okay, so, I'm making this, paycheck, and, some months I don't work as much as I do on the other months, and I'm still getting this paycheck.
Mhm.
I was really understanding like the residual income piece of it. And a couple of years ago, I had gone through a really long medical leave. And during that time, I was in fully, and there were some hiccups with it for my work, but I was still getting a Young Living paycheck. And so it was during that time where I thought to myself, like, I haven't really been doing this business as I, wanted to, but I'm getting paid. And oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yeah, you're doing good.
So anyways, I just really looked at the business model. Okay, business model, like really in depth, and thought this is really a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't I put some time into this? And was so glad that I did, and continue to do that, and to continue to grow our team and business. And it's really just been a blessing. And network marketing is not the norm. It's not how I was raised. Of you go to school and then you get a job and then you work, and then you retire. You have a few years, whatever that time frame is, to enjoy your retirement. And boy, is that just a sad thing.
Mhm.
And so we just decided, my husband and I, that that wasn't really how we wanted things to go. And that's where I just plugged in more and more to Young Living. So, which
Mhm.
I'm so happy about.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And you also, I remember you've shared in the past, like just um, time, like that quality time. You talked about
Yes.
like just quality time with your grandma.
Yes.
Right now that you're getting all this quality time that if you were back at your other
Yeah.
reality, your other job, it would just wouldn't allow you that space or that time to show up in the same way you are right now or something. That was a big kind of
Yeah. Yep.
pivotal piece as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about like your why a
Yeah.
lot with Young Living and like any business, and that is by far my biggest why, is time freedom,
Mhm.
because just the flexibility that this business allows me to have with, yes, I still have to work, but the hours can change. And I can help take care of my grandma. I can help my husband, with our trucking business, and I can be there for our family and have more intentional family time. When I was working, I worked for a big box retailer in the past, for 15 years. And so every Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was in at work. And yeah, we had a little bit of a break, a few hours we'd be with family, but that's about it. And I hated rushing through those moments. And in hindsight, when I look back, that's really what motivates me the most, is that I can have that time with family now. And not just during the holidays, but just being able to relax and truly enjoy each other, and not rushing around so much. And I think that we get so caught up, and it's a busy world, and we just don't slow down. And that part of the time freedom is what I love most about the business, because you can take the time to take the time off, or, change your hours how you need to.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, awesome, Courtney. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And those of you who are watching, whether you're catching this live or on replay or on YouTube, yeah, as network marketers, not, just like any entrepreneurial path, there is nothing that's overnight. There's no path that's overnight. Courtney's worked her buns off. I've worked my buns off. Like we have put quality time in. It's like we all wish there was something. I remember at 23, I was like, maybe I could, wrap my car with a Subway sticker, and then like Subway is going to send me a check every month or something like that. And it would just be easy. But like reality is, how many people are winning the lottery every year? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not, you got to work hard. So we just want to make sure that, like, and fortunately, this Living Well Now team, I think we continue to get stronger and better as we continue on down the path, as we're all kind of learning together. But being a part of this Living Well Now team, I know for me, has been huge. It was like a light bulb for me as my sister and sister-in-law and mom were all growing the business. It was like, okay, if I am going to do this thing, like, I want to do it with these guys. I want to learn from these folks. And I think that that's something critical as you're considering a network. Like, if you are watching this and you're considering a few different network marketing companies, just take, like, you want to make sure you have support. I know that there's been times where I've been like, struggling, and Courtney has picked me up and reminded me, like, hey, Aaron, your why, like, just in our conversations, it like stirs your, like, what's your why, Aaron? Like, stay focused on that. Don't lose sight of that. So I do think that finding a community that you get excited about leaning in, growing alongside is pretty critical, no matter the network marketing company that you choose. So I do encourage you to, take a look at that. And you want to find a community that you get pumped to spend time with and grow with. Just speaking of that, and like, because Living Well Now is in process, we're always improving and growing. And what's been like one piece of the Living Well Now reality that is, supported you over the last, 4.5, 5 years of growing your business, becoming a Thousandaire. And I know you've got diamond goals. I know that you're not done. I know your growth journey. I know you have business partners that have huge goals. So I know there's, growth on the horizon. Has Living Well Now been supportive? And if there's any specific way, like, what's one thing that's helped you as you've been growing your business?
Yeah. So Living Well Now is amazing. I'm so blessed to be part of that team, and the training that they offer, throughout the year, and just the community and accountability, as far as, just checking in and that kind of thing. Like you said, you're in California, I'm in Indiana. But I know that, I have you, right there supporting me. And that community is so huge. And it's not just, our little team. It is cross-line members and, that kind of thing. But the training, I would say, that the LWN team offers is one of the best pieces, because it really helps connect us, as a community, but also stretches us and gives us the opportunity to, whether we want to grow this business just super, at a smaller, scale, or a big scale, or however we want to do it. The tools are there, and that's what I absolutely love. Just like a training, that I'm going through right now with you, with Richard Brook, who is an awesome guy, and I could listen to him all the time. It's those kind of things that I love. And Ignite training with LWN is by far, I've been to convention, the Young Living convention, multiple times, and I went to the Ignite event before. I think last year was my first time or second time, I can't remember. Yeah, we had it this year, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
Okay, so this is my second time. My
Yeah.
gosh, 2020 has me all messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was awesome, and I just love that they bring in leaders that speak to us and really help with our development. And so the training piece is just, it's great. We're getting training that you'd pay hundreds of and hundreds of dollars for a very fair price. And I think that's pretty awesome that they offer that.
Awesome. Awesome. As you're sharing that, there's 3 things I'm going to post in the comments, those of you who want to check them out. One is going to be seed to seal, just like, so you can find out what this, why we're so passionate about Young Living. Seed to seal is the promise that they, stand behind all of their products. So we know what we're getting. It's pure goodness. And they're really, and they continue to level their game up. And as far as that goes, but seed to seal promise is huge. I'm going to make sure I put the income disclosure statement in the comments as well. And also I'm going to put the Ignite 2021 link in the comments. It's going to be a virtual online reality this coming year, but I want to make sure people know, if you are thinking about launching 100%, it would be a worthwhile choice to come to that Ignite 2021 event. Because at the end of the day, just like you did with your retail box reality, and I did when I was teaching high school, you got to learn the skills, right? You got to learn the skills and kind of learn from the pros, learn from people who have done it before to then be able to do it, And so, I'll make sure I put that in the comments. Final question for you, Courtney, would be, as you entrepreneur, like you're an entrepreneur with big visions, big goals. There's other people that are watching this that are going to check this out, and they're thinking, maybe I do want to be an entrepreneur. I've thought about it, but I'm like, nah, I don't know if I could pull that off. I'm not sure if it's in me. Lots of doubts and lots of question marks pop up for most of us, right? I know you had them, I had them. I still occasionally they pop up, but some people are thinking, maybe it is time to shift. Maybe I want to spend this next 4 years hustling a Young Living business while working my other job to then eventually be able to leave that. That's my goal. What would you say to somebody who's on that edge of like, I want to, but I'm kind of nervous. Like, what would you, what would you share with them? Obviously acknowledging that we're all unique, we're all on unique journeys, but like, what would be your word for them?
Yeah, I would say do it. Absolutely. And tell somebody that you're doing it. But most importantly, you have to have that personal development. And I can't stress that enough. And like, what does that look like? It's different for everybody. It could be a podcast, it could be an audiobook, it could, whatever it is. But you need to feed your mind those good things and those positive things and challenge yourself. That's probably been one of my biggest breakthroughs with Young Living and network marketing, because in my past, I helped recruit for my company. I helped lead big teams. I helped do all the things. And I had those skills, but I never stopped to work personally on myself. I had my leadership trainings and things like that, but the personal development piece is huge, and you have to make a goal and write it down and make the action steps that you're going to need to get to that goal. So again, I know I mentioned him already, but I'm a really big fan of Richard Bliss Brooke. The books that he's written, and there's different podcasts and things like that. That would be a great place to start, but there's so many different people that you can listen to. And anytime I'm feeling down, or I'm like, just kind of getting kind of into that negative slump, I automatically, feed myself or my head something, listen to somebody that pumps me up. So
huge reminder. Yeah. So I love that. So if you are checking this out and you're like, maybe entrepreneurship, maybe lock in, listen to entrepreneurs, read books, get this Richard Bliss Brooke There's a book that he wrote called The 4-Year Career. Have your friend lend you this book. If you're Courtney's friend, if you're my friend, like,
Yeah.
get that book in your hands and like, and then you'll figure it out. Maybe this is for you. Maybe it's not, but those dreams, I think that's the biggest thing, right? For both. I mean, for me, it's like the dreams inside. I think that's what the personal development has done, is like, those dreams are we're meant to like figure out how to make them happen, like, and not just hold them down, until we retire. Right.
Yeah. I think with, one thing for me is my husband and I love to travel on our Harley, like in the country. We've been to like 32 different states on the bike. And we have dreams of traveling outside of the country with our bike and, do these things. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have laughed at that and said, yeah, that's not going to happen, or that's not for us. But why not? And I think that we work so hard, at whatever job, we have, most people do, we give 110%. And wouldn't you love to give, why wouldn't you love to give 110% for a company in network marketing, where the business model it works. And that's what I love to tell people, just looking at it and how it happens and how it grows is just pretty amazing, versus being at a company, or working for 40 years or whatever, and just getting a little bit of an increase each year. I just think, I think if you're listening to this, take a look at it. Like Aaron said, it might not be for you, but it can be for everybody.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Appreciate you. And those of you who caught this live or watched the video, don't hesitate to reach out to either of us. Again, I'm Aaron Lehman, Courtney Taylor. Feel free to reach out to your friend if you're connected to the Living Well Now community, or if your friend is connected to the Living Well Now community. Ask them questions. Especially, if they're growing a business, they'll lead you to the trainings. They'll lead you, they'll lead you to the books, the podcasts that will change, can have the potential to change your future, change what you're visioning for the coming years. So thanks so much, Courtney. And thank you, everybody.